behalf of all of our city members when I say that we are wishing and hoping for a very speedy recovery with all of those individuals. We are sending out our sympathies to not only them, but their families. Today, you will be hearing from Chief Chris Briggs with the Glendale Police Department, Chief Terry Garrison with the Glendale Fire Department, and Mayor Jerry Weiers, the mayor here in Glendale. I will tell you that they will be issuing a statement and that they are unable to take questions. At that point, Sgt Randy Stewart will step forward. He will update you as far as the investigation and take questions at that point. So let me start by introducing to you Chief Chris Briggs.
Thank you, Jose. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Last night, we received a call that we never want to get, an active shooter situation where multiple lives were at risk. In less than 10 minutes, our officers were on scene and managed to take the suspect into custody. This is a prime example of how we were able to work together as a team to save lives and reduce the risk of injury to others. Words cannot express the pride I have in all of my officers. They not only did their jobs last night, they did their jobs well. Because of this, we were able to not only make the arrest, but assure our community that they were safe. We also want to recognize the other agencies who aided us last night. I'm sure I'm going to miss some, and I'll apologize now. Phoenix, Peoria, MCSO, El Mirage, Buckeye, DPS, Goodyear, and our federal partners at the FBI and ATF. We're all brothers and sisters in this together with a common goal, and that's to keep our communities safe. Last night, we worked together as a team, and we're very grateful for their assistance and what they provided to us last night. Thank you.
Up next, we have Chief Terry Garrison with the Glendale Fire Department.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Chief, for mentioning our response partners. What I wanted to talk about a little bit this morning is that as a fire department and a police department, we train daily and work together daily in the streets, from the calls that are small to the calls like this that can be very large or potentially be large. We've been training together over the last several years with our active shooter incident. And in fact, just a few months ago, we coordinated our training with the police department in the city of Glendale here and with our response partners throughout the valley. So we've been training. We hope we never have to use that training, but we've been training and really deciding how we respond together as a coordinated group. You can imagine how complicated things are when you have a shooter at the scene. You have people that you're trying to protect, and we work together very well to do that. So we come together to manage the incident, to get the bad guy, eliminate the shooter in this case, to keep the person safe, keep everybody at that incident safe and calm as much as we can, to treat and to transport the victims. We do that all in a way that makes sense to us, and we also take care and make sure that our firefighters are safe and our police officers are safe. We were able to come together and do this last night because we train together daily. I also would like to thank our response partners. It was just, I guess, one of those events that could have been a lot worse. And because we trained together, because we worked together, I'm just sorry for those victims that did suffer any type of injuries. Our hearts as firefighters and police officers go out to them and their families. And thank you very much.
Up next, we have Mayor Jerry Weiers.
Good morning, everyone. I do have this scripted out because I don't want to leave anything out, but I do have to tell you a couple things that are not on my script. Last night, within a minute or so of this happening, I got a call from the Arizona Republic reporter asking me about what was going on. He told me what was going on, and then immediately my phone blew up from our city management. And so I want to thank the Arizona Republic for that reporter reaching out to me immediately. That sort of got me a head start on this. And then secondly, I do want to thank the governor's office. While I was at the scene last night, The governor's office called very concerned about what was going on, wanting to know what the governor's office could do on their staff. And so we're very appreciative to Governor Ducey, his staff, for making that happen. So with that, again, all of you know that last night our community was attacked by a very senseless act of violence. On behalf of our city council, all of our Glendale residents, I want to send our thoughts and our prayers to the victims and their families. You have our love and our support. We're standing with you, and we're certainly praying for you. And I've gotten so many responses from so many different people sending their prayers and thoughts to the people that were affected last night. As we begin to emerge from our homes in our public spaces again, evil acts like this have a very, very fearful and paralyzing effect. Now, if we let them, and I'm asking all of you, please don't give in to fear. Don't allow senseless acts like this to change your habits. We have a safe city, we have a wonderful city, and we're going to continue to do that with our police. I want to assure everyone that this was a very isolated incident. Our community is a safe community. Westgate is very safe, and we're going to keep it safe. I remain committed to ensuring that our public safety departments continue to have the manpower and the resources they need to protect the lives, the property of our residents, our businesses, and our visitors. And last night was overwhelmingly incredibly sight to see all the agencies working together. I was so proud of our police department, our fire department, and the agencies that participated. I want to thank, again, all of the amazing men and women from the Glendale Police Department, our Glendale Fire Department, and all of our partnering agencies who responded in such a timely manner last night. Their extensive training, the immediate response allowed them to quickly secure the scene, which prevented additional people from being affected. I'm grateful for all the messages of support, again, from our governor, the Arizona mayors, and all the mayors from across our great nation that have reached out to us. In the last 12 hours, I've heard from business leaders, community leaders from across our state, all sharing the very same message. Arizona will not give in to fear in times like this. And that's something I want everybody to understand. We're not going to give in to fear like this. Instead, we're going to stand together. We're going to emerge stronger, and we're going to be more unified. And I want to thank everybody for being here today. Get that message out. Let our citizens and people that visit Glendale know that we're a great city. Thank you.
So as you can imagine, the mayor as well as the chiefs, their schedule is quite full today, so we're going to have them leave right now. And then we have Sgt Randy Stewart available. He is going to update you all as far as where we're at with the investigation and take any questions at that time. So Sgt Randy Stewart.
Good afternoon. I'm going to provide you a briefing of the information that we have so far. Just keep in mind that this is still very early in the investigation, and there's still a lot of information that we are trying to gather. About 7:25 p.m. last night, we got several 911 calls of an active shooter. The active shooter was at Westgate Entertainment District near 95th Avenue in Glendale. Within a minute of that call being received, it was dispatched, and officers arrived on scene within 5 minutes of the call. The first responding officers, there was 2 of them that responded initially first. When they arrived, one of the officers, which is a lieutenant, located the suspect immediately and was able to take him into custody without any further incident. The suspect did, in this case, later admit to detectives that he was planning on going to Westgate to harm 10 victims with this horrendous act. As this was going on simultaneously, other officers responded and started helping to provide first aid with the victims. What I can tell you about the victims at this point is that there was a 19-year-old adult male. That male was transported to a local hospital with life-threatening injuries and still remains in critical condition. There was a 16-year-old female. That female was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And there was a 30-year-old adult female victim that was on scene and did not require hospitalization and was not transported. Again, as we mentioned before, several agencies responded to this location and quickly helped and diligently helped to search all areas of Westgate to make sure that the situation was contained, that there were no other outstanding victims, And with limited information we had at that time, we made sure that there were no other suspects involved. We did have a shelter in place last night. We did lift that shelter in place around midnight. So it took about 5 hours to clear the entire district with all the help that we have to ensure the safety. I can tell you since then, the investigation has concluded at that location as far as the crime scene, and the businesses are now open. The shooter, he has been identified as 20-year-old Armando Hernandez Jr. He is a Peoria resident. Investigators worked tirelessly throughout the night. They investigated the scene at the Westgate Entertainment District, which, as you can imagine, is very extensive. They also located the suspect's vehicle and also conducted investigation at the suspect's home. Hernandez admitted that he was the shooter in this case. He said that he went to Westgate to target victims. He wanted to gain some respect, and he felt that he had been bullied in his life. He had actually arrived at the Westgate, went into the entertainment district, and started scoping out the scene before returning to his vehicle to gather his weapon. When he went to the vehicle, he loaded 3 rifle magazines to capacity. Mr. Hernandez is facing 16 felony charges currently. Now, those charges could increase as the investigation goes on if there's any further evidence that is uncovered. To go through the charges that are currently, he was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault causing serious injury, 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 5 counts of discharging the firearm, 2 counts of felony criminal damage, and 1 count of disorderly conduct with a weapon. Again, the investigation is still ongoing at this time, and it'll take quite some time to gather through all the evidence. We are aware of the social media that the suspect put out. We have identified that suspect as being that person that was involved in that video. And we are looking into gathering any further evidence that might have been put out on video. In addition, we are asking for anybody that has firsthand information about the incident, firsthand information about videos, to please contact the Glendale Police Department. We'll be providing a press release. In that press release, we will be given a link where citizens can upload that video. So at this time, I'll open it up to any questions that anybody might have.
Is there anything you can tell us about the weapon and were any other weapons recovered at his address?
What I can tell you right now is there was a black assault rifle that was recovered on scene. I don't have information on any other weapons that might have been involved or at his home at this time.
Sergeant, why the number 10? Why did he want to harm 10 people? And the 3 people who were hurt, were they specifically targeted?
So we don't have all the details at this point on that. We'll be looking into it, but I don't know for sure exactly why the suspect decided 10 people.
Will this be treated as a terrorism incident by chance, the FBI getting involved?
So the investigation, again, is early ongoing. We are working with FBI officials, but at this time, we are charging the state charges as mentioned.
Sergeant, any idea why you picked last night, Wednesday night?
I don't have information on that at this time. Again, this is early in the investigation. So
All right,
there's
we
a
have
lot
just
of
been
information.
listening in to a news conference where our officials in Glendale were providing the very latest information on last night's shooting at the Westgate Entertainment District in Glendale. We will continue to follow this developing story,
So there is a
both on
correlation.
air and online at abc15.com, and we'll be right back after this short break.